Good morning. Let me make sure I've got everything going where it's supposed to be. All right, here we go. I got one more. All right. So as you get here, make sure that you say hello and let me know you're here while I pull this up on my phone. Just talk amongst yourselves. All right, here we go. Beautiful. All right. All right. Good morning, good morning, good morning. And I just want to say thank you for everyone that showed up for Jean's storytelling event last night. It was so much fun. And I don't know about you guys that were there, but I got so much information and I loved seeing Jean talking about her thing, right? Good morning, Carrie. Good morning. And so if you weren't able to be there, then make sure you go in and look at the replay and put hashtag replay because it's definitely worth your while. And I saw this morning that she went back in and added the link to the storytelling um, um, school or whatever you call it that she went to and that where she teaches now. And so you can check it out because I'm going to check it out. I will. I will. So it's a beautiful morning here in Georgia. Now we have had a little bit of rain, but it's very welcomed rain, and we're supposed to be getting more today. So, um, I'll be glad to see it because some of my flowers have passed away because I have not been out there watering them diligently. So that everything needs some water. And I have a networking event that I'm going to as soon as I leave here this morning. And I've never been to this networking group, so I'll be excited to see how it goes and be fun to meet some new people in person. Right? I've gotten so far away from that because of things changed a lot with COVID, and um, so it seems like my space is all virtual. Not all of it. I am a hairstylist. Those people I see in person, it's hard to cut people's hair virtually. But the interactions are a little bit different now as far as this goes. And for those that are aware, I went to see Stacy Lauren in San Diego week before last, I guess it was. And I got to meet a good portion of the people that are part of her organization, her groups. And it was so glorious to meet these people in person. And so I really want to get back to doing some in person stuff, right? It just feels really, really good. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and grab the affirmation and make sure that you say hello when you get here because otherwise I can see people that pop in, but I can't really interact too much with them. So I would love to have you say hello and let everybody know that you're here. All right, so our affirmation for today is watch out, world. My inner rock star is taking the mic. And it's funny because it didn't start out like this. I had ChatGPT help me to make it more fun. And so that this one spoke to me because our inner rock star, because we've talked about our inner superhero. Good morning, Charlotte. We've talked about so many different ways of showing up, right? So now think about this, your inner rock star. And we all are in our own way rock stars, right? Whether we're promoting a business or we're helping people or we're just talking to people in general, right? Because to me, it feels important. You do, Carrie? You love this one? I do too. But one of the things that I think a lot of us lose sight of is that we're not just promoting our business, we're not just promoting our gifts and talents, we're promoting us as humans. And so, and our our gifts and talents are part of the gifts that we've gotten from God, right? And so if we're not sharing them, then we're, like I've said before, it's almost like we've bought this warehouse. We've taken all of our gifts and talents and put them in there. We've locked it up and we go visit it occasionally because we don't want to tell anybody about it. And so we want to be able to breathe out and share our gifts and talents. And one of those gifts and talents, good morning, Wendy, is that when we go out and we talk to people, we have a different demeanor about us. We have this spirit of sharing, the spirit of we want to know these people, right? And so for me, it's amazing to watch, to people watch. But if you go to the grocery store, this is a place that you'll see a lot. And people can be very friendly. They can be, having a conversation and everything. But then you also see those people that won't look you in the eye, that walk up to the cash register, they throw their stuff down, they won't speak to them, they won't do anything. And we want to be those people that are open, and maybe we don't have a big conversation because maybe you're not comfortable with that. But what I like to do is when I come in contact with anyone, and I don't do it every time because sometimes I'm busy thinking of other things and I don't do it. So I'm not perfect by any means. You know that. And, but I like when I go into any space and I see someone, if I catch their eye, or even if I can't, I immediately, as I get close to them, I send them peace, love, and light. And we vibrate out who we are. And just like I was talking yesterday, when you walk into a group of people that you don't know, you can tell who's would be friendlier to you. You can tell by their body language and the essence that the vibration that they're sending out, right? You can feel it, whether they're approachable or they're not approachable, whether it's someone you want to know or don't want to know. And so we feel that all the time because we are all energetic beings, and we can tell when someone is friendly or not friendly. Normally, right? If we go with our first impressions, sometimes we'll say, "Oh, give them a benefit of the doubt," and we'll poo-poo all of our intuition. And then later on, we might say, well, I wish I'd taken that first impression and stuck with it. I've got many of those stories. It's like, if I had only listened to that voice that said, don't bother, or they're really not who they say they are, or even, they are going to be more of a taker than a giver. And you can feel those things about people, right? And so we want to make sure that as we're going out into the world, that we're emitting the energy that we choose to be, right? And so that's why I really I love this one, because when we're in tune with who we are and we let our inner rock star rock the world, take the mic and speak up, then we can change so much. Even like we talk about a lot, is that a 1% change every day creates exponential growth, right? So as you're going about your day and you may feel a little bit of anxiety about talking to someone about something, or maybe somebody says, well, what do you do for a living? And it's like you get all choked up and you don't really know what to tell them, where to send them, or any of that. Been there, right? Then it's time to dive into this and just own this phrase, this affirmation. Watch out, world. My inner rock star is taking the mic because I'm capable. I am able to express myself. I am able to share my gifts and talents. I am able to affect change in people around me just by being me. Oof. Just think, if you have this essence about you, this inner rock star, and you walk into a room of people, then people are going to feel it. People are going to gravitate to you. Remember how many times we've talked about being the magnet to bring things to us instead of chasing things? So we are, by doing all of this, we are becoming the magnet that draws opportunities, that draws people that want to know what we're doing, that need what we're doing. And don't want to leave people out, right? We've got amazing gifts and talents. And I know some people say, well, I don't have a business or whatever. And so what is my gift and talent? Maybe your gift and talent is just being an empathetic ear. Maybe it's being a listener that doesn't interject all of your thoughts and stuff. You just listen to people. That's a gift and talent. Because let me tell you, even though we've got one mouth and two ears, most people are speaking and speaking and speaking and not listening at all. So that could be a gift and talent. And by utilizing that, you help others, right? So just think about it. What is it that you are in your inner being, your inner rock star? Because then you can take the mic and you can feel confident and you can feel that your voice matters, because it does. And so I really want you to think about this today, about how you can adopt this affirmation and feel a lot more confident in what you are, who you are, and what you are sharing with the world. Doesn't that feel better than saying, well, I'm going to try. I'm going to try to tell people what I do. I'm going to try to help people. Right. And there's nothing wrong with all of that. But the word try implies that it ain't going to happen. And so we want to adopt a different phrasing about what we do and how we help others. Does that make sense to anybody, or am I just rambling? And this brings up a story I'm going to share. All right, Carrie. I used to, and I've shared this with the group before. So if you've heard it, sorry, you'll hear it again. But I dated a gentleman for a while that let me back up. He was very flamboyant, as far as he didn't care who was watching or anything. He would just do all kinds of things. He was so fun. And one time we went to a store. Yes, words do matter. Yes. Thank you, Charlotte. But when we went shopping and we were at the mall. That shows how long ago it was. Our mall is pretty much not existing like it used to be. But anyway, back to the story. We were at the mall in this store, and this music was playing, right? And suddenly this song came on, and he started singing and dancing, and he had on this hat, and he was doing all this stuff, and he wanted me to join him, right? And I so wanted to join in, but I looked around and I thought, oh, I don't know, somebody might see me. What if I act a fool, right? Because to me, it was like act a fool, right? What if I act a fool and somebody's got a camera out, and then I see this on TikTok and people are laughing, or maybe I see it on Instagram and people are laughing. So I smiled and I did nothing, right? I let him have all the fun, and I wanted to so bad, but I could not in that moment just release it so that I could. And so the reason to me this means a lot is because if I had been owning my inner rock star, and I had been able to just speak and do, and because today, if that same scenario were to play out, I would be going ahead and dancing and jumping around and singing, regardless of whether I thought somebody would see or not. And so I want you to be able to grab onto your inner rock star and take the mic. Good morning, Lynn. Good morning. And be able to have fun when you want to have fun, to be able to speak about what you do when you want to, right? And to feel confident in that. Because when you are that inner rock star is there and you're ready to just take the mic and take the floor and just shout to the heavens, right? It is. Nothing's going to stand in your way. You're not going to hold yourself back with limiting beliefs that maybe somebody's going to laugh at you. That used to be a big thing for me. I was so afraid someone was going to laugh at me or think I was stupid, because that's why I didn't want to try new things, because I didn't want people to know that I didn't know how to do it. And then later on, it was like when I was thinking, well, how do people know how to do things? They try, they begin, they start, and they learn. And it's just like when a child's learning to walk, when they fall down, people don't laugh and say, look, they're so stupid, they can't walk yet. No, they help them up and they encourage them, right? And that's what this group is for me. This group that we're in right here, in the Stand Up and Stand Out community. Let me look and see if I've got some people over here. Hold on. Let me add this. But I'm streaming into other places. So maybe other people don't know about our community. And so our community is amazing. I feel that I can come into this community at any time and I can be my inner rock star. I can share something that may be a little vulnerable and maybe um, feels a little scary sometimes. And I can share it here. And then once I've shared it here a little bit, then I feel confident and comfortable sharing it out somewhere else, right? And so it's in essence, it's you are always helping me as I'm helping you. And we are confidently stepping out into the world and using our voice, finding our voice and taking and making our inner rock star take the mic. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and share our journal prompt. All right, so our journal prompt for today is, when has your inner critic been a party pooper? Like mine was with when that guy was dancing and singing and asked me to join in the mall and I couldn't do it. Party pooper, right? Because I so wanted to do that. And that's not the only occasion that something like that's happened. I remember this one time, I don't know why it always ends up being a date, but I was on a date with a guy and we were in Atlanta and they had the huge Ferris wheel. Isn't that what it's called? Yeah, Ferris wheel. And you can get on there and you can see the city and stuff. And we were on there. And so he had the camera out and he was taking pictures. Well, he starts doing this, laughing and making faces and all this stuff. And I didn't do it. I didn't join in because I thought somebody's going to see this and I'm going to look stupid. So there's lots of times I didn't join in on the fun. And I don't know how fun it would have been, but it would have been a lot more fun to be laughing and taking these pictures and making faces and everything. But I didn't. And so in essence, a lot of times I was not being me because I wanted to do it, but I held myself back. And so when have you done that? Can you think of any time right now that you have held yourself back and been a party pooper in your own life because of your inner critic? Just say yes in the comments if it's ever been anything that's shown up for you. Unfortunately, or fortunately, depends on how you look at it, I got lots of them stories. Luckily, and not so much these days, but it can still plague me every now and then. Yes. Yes, Charlotte, Wendy, you better believe it. Yeah. And not now, yes. Beautiful. There have been so many times. And like I said, there are times that I will still pop into that space and I'll remind myself, wait a minute, that's not who you are. Just do it, right? Now and then, yes, yes. Let's see what this says. I need to get over here. I'm a big rock concert goer. Almost didn't go to Mick Jagger. I made myself drive alone to Orlando and went. It was amazing. Ooh, Carrie, I love that. And I'll be honest. I told you that I'm going to this in-person networking event this morning, right? I don't know a soul there. Um, I It's a place I found. It's a one that I found online, but it's local to me. And so it's going to be a little bit of a drive to get there this morning. I had to take the morning off from the salon to make sure that happens because I don't know the way they always do these. Like people don't work, right? And most people that are entrepreneurs have another job that they do as well. So anyway, I digress. But I had to take the morning off to be able to go to this networking event. But I will be honest, this morning I thought, oh, that's going to be a drive. I don't really know anybody. What if it's raining? It's supposed to be storming today. And I had all these things that were going through my mind, trying to talk myself out of it, right? And then I thought, well, wait a minute. Why am I trying to talk myself out of it? It's because even though I feel comfortable talking, once I get someplace, the getting someplace sometimes can feel a little daunting because then I'm thinking, well, I don't know anybody, and but once I get there, I'll be okay. But I can talk myself out of things a lot of times. And so this morning I was like, okay, you're going, even if you get there late, because that was another thing too. What if the traffic, and I hate being late for anything. I had rather be 30 minutes early than 5 minutes late. Yet that was my thought, this morning. Well, if it's raining and the traffic's bad, I might end up being late and then I'll be late. And so I was giving myself many, many ways to step away and not go, right? I was giving myself every excuse under the sun, but I'm going. Thank you, Lynn. I'm telling you, it's like I can do this work a lot and then I will still drop into those emotions and those feelings. The difference now in what I used to do was I would let that self chatter and everything hold me back and keep me from going. And then later I think, oh, I should have gone, but then I wouldn't. But now that's not the case. I met Wendy Unger that way many years ago. She is one of my best friends to this day. Oh, beautiful, Carrie, beautiful. And it is the people that you end up meeting and think in this situation, like you just said, Carrie, can end up being a lifelong friend. And you just don't know. Like I talk about intuition all the time, right? So intuition has been telling me, and I will be honest, the last time that I had signed up to do this, I don't even remember what happened, if it was my daughter needed the car or something, but I ended up having to cancel and not go. And part of it could have been my inner chatter. I don't know, but I ended up canceling. So this time I'm going, and the intuition is telling me this is where I need to go. And so sometimes we meet someone that becomes a lifelong friend, or maybe we meet someone that says something that really inspires us in a way that we really needed, or maybe we meet someone who needs what we do and we can change their lives. There are so many scenarios that it could be, but you don't know if you don't go, right? And so I'm going, and even if it's raining, even though I don't know anybody, even though, right? And so I want you to think about, when has your inner critic been a party pooper? And then it's time to plan its epic retirement party. What can you do to retire that inner critic, to make it not part of your life anymore? Or at least diminish it to where when it starts popping up, you can say, not today, baby. I'm not listening. So what do you think? You gonna plan the retirement party for that inner critic? It will be fabulous. Yes, Gary. Yeah. And I talked about just a touch yesterday, but I had a session with Dr. Nancy yesterday because, like I've got the hip thing going on, and I know a lot of it is like emotions, because I talk about this quite a lot. that, you know, one of my books that I love, there's two books that really, really resonate with me. I mean, there's so many others, but two that seem to talk about a lot. One of them is The Untethered Soul by Michael Singer, right? And then the other one is, and I can't remember the author, but it's Feelings Buried Alive Never Die. And so yesterday with my session, we were uncovering so many emotions that are in my hip and my back that I haven't fully expressed. And I've been working on this for a long time, right? And I can still come up with things that I haven't fully released. And so it's an ongoing process that we go through as we start becoming who we choose to be. As things will start showing up and let us know, you need to pay attention to this one. Listen, what's your body telling you? Listen, what's going on in your mind? Where's that coming from? And sometimes it really doesn't matter where it's coming from, but what do you do with it here, right? And all of those things can hold us back from expressing ourselves in so many ways. Um, which book, the Untethered Soul or the Feelings Buried Alive Never Die? Or is it both of them? Oh, I'm telling you, I love both of them. And there's another one about feelings, but I can't remember what. I think it's The Body Keeps Score. Is that one? Yeah, yeah. So there are so many that can really touch us. We just need to read them and then you do the work, right? And Untethered Soul, yes. And the thing is that sometimes we need help in doing the work, right? And that's one of the things, like we talked about it just a little bit with Stacy the other day, that well, when we did the stand up and stand out party, we talked a little bit. Yes, can heal your life. Yes, yes, I love that one too. I've got that in my room. I love it. We are so simpatico here, Carrie. Same books. I love it. Um, but we talked a little bit about the Find Your Voice challenge that's coming up. And the thing is that what I love about the Find Your Voice, and I'll just share really quick, is that it helps you to find out what is your inner critic. It helps you to get outside of your comfort zone. It helps you from where you are. So it's not like we're going to start Find Your Voice and then suddenly it's like tomorrow somebody's going to say, okay, get up on the stage and talk. No, it is the inner work. Oh my gosh, it is so fabulous. And you would be so excited. It's what is it? 17 days challenge. And she gives us daily dares that help you to get out of your comfort zone. And there's like different comfort circles from where you are. You just stretch just a little bit. Like I said, that 1% change every day creates exponential growth, right? So it sure is. Yeah. And so the Find Your Voice would be instrumental in helping you to release this inner critic, to get it to the retirement party so it's not part of your life anymore, and be able to just articulate better, to know who you are. And then one of the main things, and I sent some private messages to people who had wanted to, had mentioned that they wanted to start a podcast, is one of the bonuses that you get as part of the Find Your Voice is the Start Your Podcast Challenge. Oh my gosh. And that's what changed my life, was the podcast challenge, because that got me outside of myself. And oh my gosh, I say all the time that is when my life changed, was when I took that challenge. And so the Find Your Voice actually comes first. I did it the opposite way because I didn't know. And so when you can do the Find Your Voice and then the podcast challenge, oh my gosh, is it going to open up so much within you and for you? And so I'm going to put a link in the comments. I don't know why. I've got some hair or some fuzz. I have animals. So there you go. I've got cats and they got some fuzz going around, I guess. The thing is that I will put a link in the comments, and you should have gotten an email from me about the Find Your Voice challenge. And so, if you did not get an email from me, and if you don't get the weekly newsletter, it may be because when you joined, some people, for some reason, their email address did not go into the whatever folder. Anyway, and so if you're not getting that information from me and you would like to, because I'm telling you, there's going to be so much gold in all of this that will really benefit you, go ahead and send me a private message with your email if you don't want to just put it in the group, which I understand. So you can send me a private message with your email address so that I know that you want to be included in that, and we'll make sure you get on the list. Because there's some amazing things that I've got Sue Anderson that's working to help me with getting out my newsletter and some of these emails and letting you know about things that are coming up. And so if you haven't been receiving any of this information and you would like to, make sure that you direct message me with your email address and I'll make sure. And so anybody that's watching this from any of these other platforms that's not part of the Stand Up and Stand Out community, then all you have to do is go to vickypoole.com, VICKIEPOOLE.com, and then you'll be prompted with questions. Make sure you answer those questions, and then you'll be admitted into the group, because a lot of the things stay in the group, like the event yesterday with Jean Green, where she talked about the storytelling and everything, that was only in the group. And so if you're someone who would like to maybe find out a little bit more about that and jump in, then definitely let us know. And I've got Ruthie is going to be on deck when is on the 25th. On Wednesday, the 25th at 7 p.m. Ruthie will be live in the group about healthy, holistic living. And she's got so much golden information in there for us. So if you're a person that's wanting to have more of a healthy lifestyle, and you're not wanting somebody to tell you, well, you can no longer eat this, eat this, eat this, right? That you don't want to be told about all the things you can't do anymore, then you want to show up for this, because it's going to be amazing. And then I've got some amazing guests coming in next month. One is about the making videos, and then the other is actually Dr. Nancy that I said I had that session with about the emotions in your body. She's going to come and talk to you. Ooh. So we got some juicy stuff going on, and you're going to want to be part of it. And so really quick, I would also like to ask any of you that have a friend that you know would benefit from being part of this group, then definitely send them an invite. Don't use the invite button. Just send them the link and tell them to answer the questions, because I want to make sure that I don't have any more of this where people's email addresses are not there, that I can't give them all the pertinent information that I think is so valuable in the group. All right. So I think I covered everything. Oh, let me go back. See what time we are. All right. So we're good, because I've got to leave in just a few moments to go to this event. So remember, our affirmation is, watch out, world. My inner rock star is taking the mic. Ooh, 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 ooh. Right? Put that on your sticky note, your index card, the screensaver on your phone. Heck, put it anywhere you can, so that you are reminded today that you are a rock star and you're speaking out, right? You are doing it. It doesn't matter if you feel in this moment like that's not you. Baby, let's make it you, right? Thank you. And then our journal prompt. Now, remember, what I like to say to do is to get your journal out, get your notebook out, put the date, put the affirmation in the journal prompt, because they go together. And then takes a few moments, 5-10 minutes, whatever works for you, and just sit in silence and get centered to where you're listening to your subconscious mind, not that inner critic, not that busybody that's telling you all the things you need to be doing instead. Just relax. And then when you open your eyes, then that you say, oh, when has my inner critic been a party pooper? Just write it out. And you may find that there's things that you didn't even remember, but your subconscious did. Don't judge it, just put it out there, right? And then start planning. How are you going to remove that inner critic? How are you going to retire it? Say, yeah, I don't need you anymore. You've benefited me at some point. You came in to save me from something, but I don't need saving anymore. I got this. Right? So you've got this. You can do this. And like I said, if you are interested in being part of the Find Your Voice community, because it is going to be so epic. There's a Facebook group that we will go in and we will post about our daily activities. But I'm also creating just for you guys, I'm creating a WhatsApp community where we will go in and we will encourage each other. We will talk about everything that's going on. And then we're going to have a couple of Zooms where we're going to have a meet and greet right before it starts. And then we're going to meet again to see where we're at and to see if anybody needs support, because this is so amazing venture to go on. You've got this, and we've got you. All right. So have an amazing retirement party today, I guess. I don't know. I don't have Wendy Unger here because she's traveling. So let me see. Have a rock star day taking the mic. How about that? Have a rock star day taking the mic. And I will see you tomorrow at 9 a.m. Eastern. Mwah.